So last week we learnt how the people of God were in the desert for 40 whole years when it actually shouldn't have took them that long. And we kind of were sort of seeing or asking the question why they're in the desert for so long. And I suppose God was trying to teach them something. So they learnt a couple lessons. And today I want to show you guys one of the lessons that they learnt while they were in the desert for 40 years. So let's get to it. So the story you're going to look at today is the one where Moses actually goes up onto a mountain. So he goes up into the mountain. He comes down with the Ten Commandments, and we all know that story, and all know kind of what the Ten Commandments are. But something interesting that happened actually is when Moses went up onto the mountain, this mountain that was actually engulfed in fire and in smoke because God's presence came down into the mountain, and before he went up, he spoke with the people and he said, "Hey, listen." God, this God who saved you from Egypt, the God who sent the 10 plagues, the God who parted the Red Sea, the God who did all these amazing things to help save you, he wants to come and make a relationship. He wants to build a relationship with you. And so what he's asking, what Moses was asking the people and telling the people is that he wants to build this relationship, but with it comes things or comes laws or rules that the people should follow, or these things that God wants to teach them. And so the people are like, cool, sharp, we want to do this. We want to enter into this awesome relationship with this great God who had just saved us. And so Moses was like, great, these are this is the list of stuff that God wants you to follow, which was on the Ten Commandments and probably a few other things. But when Moses came down from the mountain with the Ten Commandments that were on them, he actually smashed the Ten Commandments in such anger because he saw what the people of God were doing. What the people actually did is they took all the gold they had, they melted it down, and they built this golden calf. So the golden calf that is created, the people of God actually, they knelt down and they started worshipping this golden calf. You see, they said that this golden calf was the God that led them out of Egypt. And they started worshipping this idol, this golden statue, and you can see why Moses threw down the Commandments in such anger. They were breaking one of the laws that God had given. You see, the law said, don't follow other gods and don't make idols to worship. How would the people be worshipping this God when they just saw how God had saved them out of Egypt, when they just saw the amazing miracles that God had just done, parting of the Red Sea, sending the plagues, rescuing them from such slavery? And why is it that the people of God started to worship this golden calf and were saying that this golden calf now is more important than their God? They just said they wanted to enter into this relationship with God. So why did they now disobey God? Why did they all of a sudden start worshipping this other idol? So this is what I think. So let's go to a story about me now. So when I was quite younger, when I was about I think 16 or 17 years old, I started to really enjoy computer games. I used to play this one computer game called StarCraft, and I used to love it so much. I used to play it actually so much that I chose on Sundays not to go to church, but rather to stay home and play computer games. I started to play computer games so much that I'd prefer to do that than do anything else. I almost stopped praying. I stopped reading the Bible because there was no time to do that. Because all my time was actually in playing this computer game. See, I started to make this computer game almost like my idol, or almost like this God that became more important than my own God. So I kind of made these computer games, or playing computer games, kind of the thing that would sit on a throne. And when I say throne, what I mean is, what am I putting as my king in my life? What is that one thing that is making, what is that one thing that is the most important thing in my life that I'm making my own king, that I'm putting at my own throne? And so I put computer games there and not my own God. I never put Jesus on the throne at that point. And so this is my thought. Is this story of mine kind of was similar to the people of God's, where they made a golden calf as the most important thing, whereas I made computer games the most important thing. And sometimes we can worship these things in our life that we may not even realize are almost like idols. See, we make these things more important, and whatever we make more important and spend more time on, that's almost what we're worshiping. So here's my question for all of you guys. What is that thing in your life that is almost like an idol, or almost like a false god, that you're sort of worshiping more or putting on your throne and making king of your life rather than God? It could be many, many different things. See, a lot of people nowadays, they put money, they put cars, they put fame, they put so much other stuff on as their throne, or what they deem as the most important thing in their life. So what is that thing that's most important to your life, that could be making, or that could be an idol in your life, that you are making more important than God? So that's my challenge. Try to find out what that is, and maybe ask yourself, is it taking time away from you and God? Is it taking time away from your prayer life with God, or maybe when you read the Bible? And if it is, maybe you should ask yourself, should I spend less time on it? Or should I actually make a commitment to spend more time with God? What is that thing that is on your throne that you are making king? And I think we all know that the whole idea when Moses came down on the mountain and speaking to the people is they wanted God to be the king. They wanted God to be the one that was on the throne, because Jesus is our king. So I'll see you guys next week, and yeah, maybe pose that question in your mind, and hopefully we can see what is the most important things in our life, and is God one of them? And I hope we can make God one of them, because sometimes we don't. So I'll see you guys next week.